Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Good morning, choir.
They're back.
They're back, and they're so wide awake after first service. Woohoo! Now, isn't it fun to look out here and see all these happy, smiling people and hear their voices? It's so great to have the choir back. I'm Heather Estay, and this is Reverend Deborah Phillips, and it's our honor and privilege to welcome you this morning. In the name of all that is good, all that is beautiful and sacred, all that is joyful and wondrous, and in the warm and loving spirit of this ministry, Spiritual Life Center. This is a mission-centric ministry. And if you don't know what that is, it means that it's not about one person on the platform or one musician, maybe the drummer, but it's really about, it's really about all of us. So whenever you show up and you bring your presence, you bring something to this ministry. And even if you're here for the very first time, and we really want to welcome you if you are, just know that you're not here by accident, but by divine appointment. And we're so glad that you kept your appointment. You brought your consciousness, and you probably brought your cell phone too, but I'd really rather not hear it. So if you could turn it off right now, that would be delightful. Thank you.
And as we move from that connection with the outer world and take this moment and this time to connect with our inner world, we give such deep thanks for the opportunity to be here today, to be here in oneness and in light and joy and love, to share with each other everything that we are and everything that we can be. And knowing that as each one of us transforms our own lives, we touch every other life around us, and we are changing this world one thought, one moment, one idea, one big love hug at a time. And so we are very, very grateful for this opportunity today, and we say thank you, God.
Amen.
And as we have been doing, the unity principles, which doing this helps us integrate these into our own consciousness, as well as gives us something to explain what we do here to other people, because they do ask. So let's say them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. We must take action.
Thank you. And now you are really in for a treat today, because we have our special speaker, Janee Marth. Yay. See, even just her name gets applause. A lot of you know Janee. She's done meditations for us that are wonderful. She's head of our youth ministry now. She's had a whole bunch of roles at SLC, and she's been here forever. But I happen to be a friend of Janee's behind the scenes, and I can tell you she can be a really rowdy girl. She has a mouth on her. I mean, people say, swears like a sailor. I say, swears like Janee.
It's true. It is. It's true.
However,
I concur.
it's Sunday. So for her Sunday suit, this is Janee, our interfaith minister, and she's been an interfaith minister for 17 years. And she says that her specialty has always been the silence. And you can hear that in her. Now, Janee was confessing to me that public speaking was one of her biggest fears. She hated it, even standing up and saying her name. So one time, one of our founders, Faith Moran, told her, okay, when you go up there, don't speak in your small voice, speak in your God voice. And that's what Janee does, whether she's doing a meditation or a talk. She kind of prefers meditation because your eyes are closed. However, keep your eyes open. Because when I think of Janee, I always think, James always says, when you see me, you see the one who sent me. When I see Janee, I see that. So please welcome Janee. Stand up, Janee. Be embarrassed.
Thank you.
And now we have a really special Wow Wednesday, a shamanic, autumnal, that means autumn, shamans, cleansing ritual. We're going to have smudging. and it's going to be led by shaman Dr. Jenny Lorena Thomas. She'll bring us the ceremony, and she'll explain what it was, and it's an opportunity to wash away all the stuff, the accumulated junk that you've got. It'll be out in the courtyard, and Paula and her sister Catherine will be there. We'll have the mother drum. We'll have Native American flutes. It's a beautiful ceremony. So that's this Wednesday out in the courtyard, and as always, salad is at 6, and soup is and service is at 7. And if no soup, salad, soup, salad. Soup, and if you would like, in terms of participating, you can wear all white or all black with a red accent, like a scarf or a belt or something, but that's not required. But do so if you'd like to join in. Again, this Wednesday, salad at 6 and the service at 7.
September 22nd, which would be next Sunday, we have Greg Lavoie who is coming, and he is going to be speaking at the Sunday services, Callings in Search of an Authentic Life, and then he's doing not a workbook, he's doing a workshop right afterwards with the same title. How many people are familiar with him? It's not a lot, but we have people in the congregation who have experienced him, and they say he's funny, he's intelligent, he's fun, and we actually have a little video to give you a taste of what he is like.
So, one of the people that I included in the Callings book was a artist who lives in Santa Cruz, California. His name is Howard Ikamoto, and he described an interaction that he had one day with his 7-year-old. She came to him and said, "Daddy, what do you do at work?" And he said, "Well, honey, I work at the college, and my job is to teach people how to draw." And he said that she looked back at him incredulous and said, "Daddy, you mean they forget?" I mean, can you imagine how inscrutable that would seem to a 7-year-old kid? Anybody could possibly forget how to draw. How?
So as Deborah mentioned, Greg will be doing a workshop after second service, and you can stay right here because our choir will be providing lunch things and bake sale items that you can buy and then go right to the workshop after. It's you.
Oh, it's Faith in Action. So Faith in Action, we had 14 groups sign up. One person dropped out, and then we had somebody else come in. Most of those are full, and then we've had 2 more people offer to do groups this morning. So there's lots of room for everyone. So sign up, come to the table and sign up. We do need about 3 facilitators. So if anybody is willing to come and be a facilitator, really appreciate that. Come see me at the table after the service.
Now, another special event on Saturday, October 5th. Reverend Donna Abadoni will do a blessing of the animals. So you can bring all your animals for this really fun event. You can bring your dogs, your cats, your snakes, your ant farm, your teenagers. You can bring, anybody, grandkids, yeah. Anybody, any little animals that can be put on a leash that you would like to have blessed. And if you haven't been to this ceremony, it's really fun. So that's Saturday, October 5th.
And the gala is right around the corner. I think it's more of a curve at this point. I don't think it's an actual corner anymore. And here is RJ to fill us in.
Gala, what a gala for the modern mystic family. We'll be having fun in Sacramento. It's a gala, it's for you and me. Together it will be such a delight. And yes, we will party through the night. And when you're at the gala, have a love serve and remember time. Let's have a party time. Let's have a gala old time. Well, we affirm right now that Spiritual Life Center attracts to itself all the abundant resources necessary to fulfill its divine appointment. In fact, we affirm right now that Spiritual Life Center balances its budget at the end of the year, and we even have a surplus at the end of the year. Does that sound good? Woo-hoo. All right, let's do it. Well, one of the ways to do that, and it's not related to the gala, but on Sundays, between now and the end of the year, if you're ever feeling inspired, drop in an extra $1, $5, $10, or $20 when you're extra inspired, and between now and the end of the year, that will really help. One of the things that I'm going to do is I've decided that on Choir Sundays, I'm going to drop in an extra $10 or $20 in appreciation for our lovely music ministry. So that's a nice thing to do. And, of course, the gala. A gala is a wonderful opportunity to come. We want newcomers to come, especially if you've never been to a gala. There's 565,300 reasons to come to the gala, and mostly it's because we have fun. We have food and past hors d'oeuvres. We have a lively auction. This year we're doing our Light the World honors, and we're going to have some inspirational videos, wonderful poignant songs, so it's going to be a lovely evening. So we're hoping that to have full participation by everyone. And then to really help us with our financial goals, we're looking for gala sponsors. This is a great way to help us get to our end of the year goal, and sponsorships start at $250. We have a $500 level, $1,000, $2,000 or more. So if you're being called to really step up in a big way and show your love for this ministry, then gala sponsorships are the way to go.
No. There's more.
At Spiritual Life Center, we open up our eyes. We love, serve, and remember, and we transform lives as we love and we serve. We've got something going on. Papa. At the gala dinner auction, we will laugh and play. We're looking for some people who will sponsor today as we love and we serve. We've got something here and it's the real thing. Papa, a tender love so fine, it requires a celebration. Many paths, one God. This is an invitation. Love one another. As we love, serve, and remember, sponsors in the stream, that is what we are. Sail away today as we light the world. How can we be wrong when we sing a song and we rely on each other? From one sponsor to another. All right.
Then.
Okay.
He now gets backup
and yet
singers.
we have to continue on after that. So one of the other thing that makes our gala so successful for all of the volunteers who step up to help with all of the different tasks that just are involved in getting this thing together, this wonderful thing together. And so, Pat Harvey, are you in the room? Pat? Okay, so Pat will be out at the gala table, and you can sign up with her and find out just the perfect spot for you on the volunteer list.
And now I'd like to introduce people who are very special in this community. If our ambassadors, board of trustees, and prayer chaplains would please stand. Thank you. Our ambassadors are those chipper, cheerful people who have the rainbow ribbons around their name tags. And these are people, if you're brand new or kind of new, or even if you've been around for a while and want to find other ways to connect, talk to these people. They can guide you in the right directions. Thank you, ambassadors. And our board of trustees, these people wear a purple ribbon when they're not in the choir. They wear a purple ribbon on their name badges. And these are the people who are committed to making sure that our ministry stays sustainable for the future. So they help guide the business portion of our ministry. So talk to them about any questions that you have. Thank you, board of trustees. And then our prayer chaplains. These dear people have dedicated at least a year of their lives in sacred service to this whole community. And they're available to you for confidential prayer. If you have a need, a joy, or you just want to pray today, they'll be out in the courtyard after the service, and they're available to you. So please take advantage of them. Thank you, prayer chaplains.
And if you're here for the very first time, in a moment we'll be asking you to raise your hand, but we want you to know there are many, many ways to become connected here at SLC. The people Heather was just talking about are one way. We also will be giving you a card that you can fill out legibly so that we actually know what you're trying to tell us. And you can either put that, yes, and you can put it in the offering basket or take it right outside to the welcome table that's just right outside the door. And if you do that, you get a very special gift.
So now, if there's anyone here for the first time, if you please just raise your hand, just raise it up high. Thank you. And our ushers are coming to you. They're going to be giving you a purple ribbon. And if you'd wear that magic ribbon over your heart, that way we can identify you and welcome you properly. So thank you for joining us. And now is that great time in the service where we get to say, darling, you look marvelous. Happy Sunday. So let's rise and greet each other.
Okay, everybody, we're going to be doing a little song. We're going to be a call and response. I have no idea what I'm going to call out, but whatever I call out, you respond with the same thing. It'll be appropriate, I promise. Here we go. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. In this world. In this world, I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. In this world, in this world, this is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world. I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world. This is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm living love every day. I'm living love every day. I'm living love every day. I'm spreading peace along the way. Right time, right place. I'm living love every day. We are the light. We are the light in this world. In this world, we are the light. We are the light in this world. This is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. We are the joy. We are the love in this world. In this world. We are the peace. We are the beauty in this world. In this world. This is the place. This is the time. Well, let it shine. Well, let it shine. I say it again. This is the place. This is the time. Well, let it shine, 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 shine. Big arms, everybody. We're gonna let it shine. nice singing, guys.
And now for something completely different. So we have taken up the practice of this work together that we call the Q. And it is a work where we are learning more and more how to live with nothing and no one against us. And so we as a community determine some of these qualities that get in the way of that. And we also will affirm together those qualities which we know we have come here to be. So let's do that together. Please have compassion for us when we are being not enough, distrusting, grieving, blaming, powerless, or fearful, because this is who we have come here to be. Inspired, in integrity, joy-filled, compassionate, unstoppable, generous, and transformational. Now let's enfold all of those beautiful qualities of shadow and light into our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now, in preparation for meditation, we'll sing this beautiful chant together. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth.
As we settle into this time of quiet, just breathe naturally and simply be aware of how you relax with each breath. Breathe into the back of your heart. Melt into your seat. Allow your vision to become soft and cloudy. Close your eyes. And allow your consciousness to drift into a light daydream. And come with me into the spiral of love. In front of you is a hedge-lined path, and a very friendly puppy bounces up to you. She jumps and twirls around a sign that says, "Welcome to the spiral of love." She bounces over to you exuding love and joy, and she makes you laugh. Your heart opens to receive this love. The puppy runs along the path, stopping and looking back, as if to say, "Follow me." The path is beautiful. It's lined with hedges, and there are flowers and birds and butterflies. And peace abounds in this place. Coming around the first curve of the spiral, a small child runs to greet you. The child giggles and reaches up to show you a special toy. And as you bend down to look at the toy, the child wraps its arms around your neck and hugs you. Joy and love tingle throughout your entire body. Receiving this love, your heart opens a little bit more. Following the puppy and the child along the path, you laugh with glee as they bounce and run in the pure joy of simply being. And as you come into the next curve, a woman and a man dance into the path. They twirl and spin, exuding love, peace, joy. And as they spin around you, sparks fly that resolve into strands of light that spiral around you. Receiving this deep love, your heart opens even wider. By now, you are filled with so much love that you feel like you cannot hold anymore. Still, your companions move ahead of you, their lights of love and joy pulling you along. An ethereal being clad in white stands in the middle of the path, arms spread wide. You walk right into those arms, and they wrap around you in the purest, loving embrace that you have ever felt. You feel safe and warm. Love and joy permeate your body, your bones, your cells, your very soul. Your heart opens even wider, immersed in love and joy and peace. The being takes you by the hand and leads you around into the last curve, into the center of the spiral. The center is all light, clear, holy, pure love. And now you are one in the divine light, blending, dancing in love and joy just for the sake of being in the silence. You are light. You are love. You are filled, and this love exudes from you. It shines through you out into the world. And as you take a breath now to come back to this physical world, you bring this light with you, and it will continue to shine through you as you walk through your days. And as you begin to come back into your body, receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, there is only love. There is always love. Even when life seems unkind, you can come within, and we are always here. We are love, bouncing, dancing, embracing you in love and joy and peace. Remember this always.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, at first service, I was mentioning to the choir that I felt really bad having my back to them. But I went through first service, and the choir is just like these loving angel wings that surround me, and I'm so grateful for them. Thank you for allowing me to have my back to you. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I love about this place. It's so true. Well, good morning. I'm really, really thrilled to be here with you today. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about living our love. And I want to begin with a reminder of an old familiar truth, which is that you are the light of the world. You are the light of the world, and I'm the light of the world. We're all lights in our world. I recently came across a Facebook post, and it was an anonymous quote. And it reads, "It only takes one light to illuminate the darkness. Never underestimate the light you shine into the world." And I really loved that quote, and it really struck me because sometimes I think that we can forget that we're the light of the world. I think we forget that we're the light bearers, that we're here to know our love and to bring that love into everything that we do. In Matthew 5:14, Jesus tells us, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bushel basket. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify the Father in heaven." And to me, what Jesus is basically saying is let others know God through you. You are the light of the world. Can you fully take that in? Do you feel worthy of that? Because you are. And you want to know why I know that you are? Because I know what you are. I know what we are. And it's the same in every one of us. Every single one of us, no exception. No one has any more God than anyone else, no matter what it looks like. One of the things that we say here with our kids all the time is there's no spot where God is not. And it's so true. But sometimes when I look out into the world, and maybe when you look out into the world, it can appear that there are folks that maybe have forgotten who and what they are. They've forgotten that we're connected, that we're all one in God, that we're a part of each other. One, not two, not separate, one. So although no one has any more God than anyone else, I think it's fair to say that we are all at varying degrees of knowing that God within us. And for those that do know the God of their being, there's varying degrees of us listening to that voice and following that guidance and listening to that presence to move us and guide us through life. So I mentioned Facebook a little earlier, and I love Facebook. I love all the family photos and family and friends, and I love the spiritual inspiration, and I really do like some news. But before I really learned that there were ways that you can control what you have to look at on Facebook, I felt myself being bombarded with so much fear and anger and division coming from all the political posts. And I think that no matter where you stand on the issues, it was true for all of us. And to be honest, both of those emotions, fear and anger, found a home in my mind for a while, and I let them have their way with me. I let my mind take me to every place that it feared. And I just let myself be with it. And at some point, that idea of it isn't what's happening that's causing my suffering, but what I'm telling myself about what's happening that's causing my suffering. And as that kind of rose up, there was another, a familiar way of mastery teaching that came to the surface, which is, I don't know what anything is or what anything is for. In this vast, interconnected universe, I can't know, but God knows. And I can trust God, and I can trust that it's all for our greater awakening. My righteous fears for the planet and for humanity are still just fears. And I had to ask myself, can I lay those down too and really trust God in all things and in all people? So I want to make sure that you know that when we lay down those fears and we trust God, it doesn't mean that we're not going to do anything. Love is active. Love will move us. But we are moved to work for love instead of against hate. When we're working for something in love, our energy isn't split. It isn't divided. It's clear and it's precise. With love, truly all things are possible. So as I let myself be with this new level of trust, I really had to go in and change my settings on Facebook. I decided that I didn't have to see all of the things that were coming across my post. And I realized that with this new level of trust, I could trust God in me, I can trust God in you, I can trust God in all people and all things. So I went in and I made those adjustments, but it really dawned on me that what I was reacting to was how certain everyone was about their point of view. So certain, so rigid, so right. And it occurred to me that maybe the reason I was reacting to their certainty was that perhaps I had a little certainty going on of my own. So I found myself pulling out a poem that Judy Guadalupe, some of you may know Judy, a poem that Judy Guadalupe shared at one of her women's meetings a long time ago, and it's called Certainty, and it's by an Indian devotional poet named Tukaram. Certainty undermines one's power and turns happiness into a long shot. Certainty confines. Dears, there is nothing in your life that will not change, especially your ideas of God. Look what the insanity of righteous knowledge can do. Crusade and maim thousands in wanting to convert that which is gold, that which is already gold, into gold. Certainty can become an illness and create hate and greed. God once said to Tuka, "Even I am ever changing. I am ever beyond myself. What I may have once put my seal upon may no longer be the greatest truth." And I really love that poem, and I love the line, "Dears, there's nothing in your life that will not change, especially your ideas of God." It was Meister Eckhart who prayed the prayer, "Dear God, please remove from me all my ideas about you and allow me to experience you fully." Certainty undermines our ability to experience God fully. When we're certain, and you can feel it, we're closed, we're certain. We don't even want to hear what anybody else has to say because we've already made up our mind and we're right? That's usually how it goes. And when we do that, we cut ourselves off from those subtle messages of God, our intuition, which is pouring through us in every moment. When we're certain, can we even hear God informing us? Our certainty about God can limit us because our awareness of God is always growing, always expanding, always. That's what makes our spiritual life so fulfilling. We're always growing and expanding and becoming. Done it again. God is infinite. And our expanding into God never ends because God never ends. So our experience of that is always becoming, always getting fuller. When we're aware of certainty taking hold in our mind, it's an invitation to stop and to move into our hearts, taking a moment to be still. That holy moment to join head and heart and to experience God and feel God and listen. And what this kind of listening isn't just a listening with our ears. It's a listening with our entire being. And when we listen with every cell of our being, we're open to experience God. You are the light of the world, and God is informing you in every moment. And I want to remind all of us that we're made for these times. We chose to be here at this time. We're here on purpose, and we're here to love and to love well. These times are calling us inward to the only place that we can be truly fed, to the inner well where the waters truly, the still waters truly replenish our soul. We are being called into a deeper experience with the God of our being, with the Christ. And my prayer is that every person on the planet can know this truth that lies within them. It was Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, who said, "If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering of the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation." And I love that. Truly, the greatest gift that we have to give is that of our own self-transformation. And I think that we intuitively know this. That's why we come to places like Spiritual Life Center. I have talked to I don't know how many people who've said, I walked in those doors and I sat down and I knew I was home. Love is our natural state, and that's what we're drawn to. We're just like moths drawn to the flame, and we're drawn to those teachings and modalities that remind us and show us the love that we are and remove those blocks that prevent us from knowing what we are. I wanted to share with you a story that I came across when I was in ministerial school 17 years ago. And it's a story called Live Your Love. Imagine 4 Army chaplains during an icy storm at sea. 4 men in uniform holding hands as they gaze over the rail of their sinking ship. They are watching lifeboats pulling away from their reeling ship, the U.S. transport Dorchester. The story of these chaplains is a remarkable account of love and sacrifice. The scene takes place February 3rd, 1943, off the tip of Greenland. The winter night covers the ship like a blanket. Most of the 909 men aboard are asleep below the decks. Suddenly, the Dorchester jerks and shudders. A German torpedo has smashed through her starboard side. In a raging torrent, the sea spurts through the gaping wound. The Dorchester has been dealt a mortal blow. She is sinking. An order is given to abandon ship. Aboard the dying vessel, men, many of them injured, search frantically for life jackets. Some stand in shock, not knowing how to react to the catastrophe. Amidst the chaos stand 4 pillars of strength, 4 Army chaplains, George L. Fox, Methodist, Alexander Good, Jewish, Clark V. Poling, Reformed, and John P. Washington, Roman Catholic. They calm the panic-stricken, help the confused search for life jackets, and aid the soldiers into lifeboats swinging out from the tilting deck. When no more life jackets can be found, each chaplain takes off his own and straps it to a soldier who has none. The lifeboats pull away slowly from the doomed vessel. Only 299 will finally survive this night. As the Dorchester slid beneath the icy water, some could see the 4 chaplains, hand in hand, praying to the God of them all. The chaplains' different theological opinions didn't seem to matter much on a sinking ship. All that mattered was that at a time of crisis, they lived their love. Yet even for us every day in lesser ways, I suspect that's all that matters. And I love that. All that mattered in a time of crisis is that they lived their love. And this is really settled in me. In a time of crisis, live your love. All that ever matters is that we live our love. And it's such a beautiful reminder. It's really a dramatic story, but it's one of those where the spiritual rubber meets the road kind of stories. We expect a chaplain's work to be the work of God. But remember, your work and my work are also the work of God. No matter what we do, it's the work of God. God loves the world through you and through me. Our lives, my life, and your life are where the spiritual rubber meets the road. So how do we live these principles that we believe? How do they show up in our day-to-day lives? A Course in Miracles reminds us that we're all ministers of God. There's a whole chapter about it. And we're here as ministers of God to minister to the human heart. We're being called to live our love. So now more than ever, in the midst of my messy and unpredictable life, I've made a commitment to love even more deeply and to be kind, to strive to understand and respect my brothers and sisters, even if I don't believe the same way they do, and to create peace with my words and my actions. I will stand for equality and fairness. I will walk softly on the earth, and I will live my love. And I invite you to join me in asking yourself every day, how can I live my love today, God? And typically, my experience is we don't really have to go very far to find that, do we? It's right here. What's mine to love? It's right here. It's right here. We aren't here to fix the world. We're here to love the world. It was Jeff Foster who said, healing is not the fixing of the broken, but the rediscovery of the unbroken. The rediscovery of the unbroken, the constant, God. Your light, that's the rediscovery. So really that finding the Christ within us is what I consider to be my passion. That's what I love. I love seeing people find and know the God of their being. It gives me joy and it brings me hope. In New Thought, the second coming of Christ isn't about the return of the man, Jesus. Instead, it's the coming forth of the Christ within us. It's the rediscovery, if you will, of the Christ within your own heart. You are the light of the world. Just breathe that in and feel that love moving through your entire being. You are the light of the world. And there's greatness in our tender hearts. And there's power in our tenderness. Can we soften with each other? Can we soften with those who we disagree with? Can we find ways to listen to that which makes our blood boil? Really listen? We may never agree, but it's amazing the understanding that we can gain about someone's fear when we really sit and listen. And I really believe that that's what's underneath our anger. It's fear, it's pain, it's grief. Can we live our love? Never underestimate the power of love. Loving will remind you of your wholeness that you already are, that has always been. You don't have to be perfect to be whole. You aren't here to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're here to love and to love well over and over and over again. And in loving well, our hearts will break and our hearts will soar, and we are present to meet all of it, knowing that it all passes. But that which meets it, that constant, that Christ within, that's always there, and that's what meets it. God in you, the light of the world. So as we walk through these transformative times in our external world, I invite you to be the light that you already are, to live your love, to be an example of what love looks like. Let those who have no idea of God's love know it through you. And if you fail, just remember that nobody's perfect thing. Nobody's perfect, and we just move right back into loving. As Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Don't doubt yourself. Live your love. Be the light. We've got this. Let's love recklessly. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Janee, that is just an amazing message. Thank you. And thank you for reminding me that, let's see, you can be right or you can be happy. Right? Okay. Next week, remember, Greg Lavoie will be speaking to us at the 9 and the 11 o'clock, and then he will offer his workshop, Callings in Search of Authentic Life. After the Sunday service, the choir will be offering the lunch and bake sales, so we'll see you next week for that. As we move into the time for our love offering, and as Reverend Janee is saying, is that living your love, there's so many different ways to live your love. And one way to live your love is to support this organization and to just share your treasure and your talent. And the different ways that you do it is the greatest gift that you can find, because you're giving from your heart and you're giving from love. And really, that's the only way to give. So let us join together in our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And as we will learn during Faith in Action, everything is perfect in its imperfection. And so we give thanks for these gifts of love, these gifts of support, these gifts coming from the heart, knowing that this is one of the ways that we let our love shine in this world. And so it is. Amen. We have a song, that perfect imperfection thingy. Let's join together in our prayer for protection.